Okay, welcome back to the channel, and this will be episode 1, issue 1 of Warhammer 40k Imperium. And as you can see, I have the issue here, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Actually, I already did rip it open just curious to see exactly what came in there. Sorry for the crinkling cellophane there. Okay, so let's start with all this because I'm pretty sure the magazine will have contents of what's included and just verify everything's there. Okay, first thing we got here is it's just like a cover sheet. You know, you got the 2 miniatures, Space Marines, Necrons, first playthrough. Let's see here. Okay, so just saying, hey, this is your first issue. Looks like these are the contents of the magazine here. Got the Primaris Lieutenant, Royal Warden, Space Marines, Necrons, the War for Rameses, Primaris Lieutenant, Royal Warden, and then the playthrough. Okay, and then next here we have just information on the Primaris Lieutenant. Veteran Space Marine officer. Now, as far as there's a little bit of lore included in these, and I debated whether I was going to do the lore separately or not do it at all. I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and do it all in the same video, and I'll have timestamps in the description. So if you really don't care about the lore, you can just skip over that to the next section. Okay, so it says, Space Marine Lieutenants are key members of each chapter's command structure. Each lieutenant is an expert tactician and strategist, as well as an experienced and skilled warrior. They can be found wherever fighting is the thickest, following orders and directing the fire of their battle brothers. Okay, now Primaris Lieutenant War Gear. That's just what they call their equipment. As primary weapon, we have the Neo-Volkite pistol. This pistol is a modern version of an ancient Imperial weapon. It fires rays of heat that can burn through armor and melt flesh. And then we have over here the helmet markings. The colors and markings on a helmet often show a Space Marine's rank. And seeing as this is the Primaris Lieutenant, you know, I'm assuming the red and white stripe there would signify Lieutenant status. Okay, and then we have a Storm Shield. Storm Shields can turn aside fire from even the heaviest weapons. Master-crafted power sword. This blade was forged by the chapter's greatest weaponsmiths and can cleave through armor with ease. And here we have personal heraldry and purity seals. The lieutenant's heraldry is displayed on his tilt shield. Purity seals are usually inscribed with declarations and prayers. Okay, and we have Blade Guard Veteran. The lieutenant's master-crafted weapons, heraldry, and storm shield show that he once served as a Blade Guard Veteran, an elite unit of Space Marines. And then we have a quote from Lucian Cassius. It says, "How dare the Necron filth despoil the Emperor's realm with their foul presence? Intercessors, fire at will. Assault intercessors, strike their left flank. Blade Guard veterans, on me. Let us break their lines and crush them to dust. Courage and honor, brothers, for the Gilliman and the McCraig. And that is Lucian Cassius, Primaris Lieutenant, Ultramarines, 2nd Company. And on the back here, we just have their battle record. You can name them here. And they have a couple random generated names. If you just want to roll a die, you know, he would be Marco Sextus. And Space Marines also have titles that, you know, from certain deeds they've accomplished. So he would be the Lion of Vespator. And again, they also tend to name their weapons and shields. As you can see here, same thing. Same with the shield. Purity seals, you can write down specific, you know, prayers or declarations they have on their purity seals. Battle record, or record of battle. You can put their accomplishments there, if you so choose. Okay, now we have the Royal Warden, Noble Commander. Royal Wardens are Necron nobles who act as battlefield commanders. Though they are utterly loyal to their superiors, they have independent thought and are capable of adjusting their strategy of their warriors to ensure victory. See, Necron nobility. Each Necron dynasty is ruled over by a single high-ranking noble. This ruler is surrounded by a royal court made up of lesser nobles who command their legions. Royal Wardens act as lieutenants and bodyguards for their superior, higher-ranking Necron nobles, have their own personalities, and are ambitious and ruthless. They are not beyond plotting against their superiors. Lower-ranking nobles are kept loyal by command protocol deep in their mechanical brains. Okay, so up here we have command nodes. Royal Wardens bear command nodes upon their skeletal forms. These devices broadcast the command signal that allows them to control vast armies of lesser warriors. Kind of sound a lot like the Borg. And here we have Living Metal, Dynasty Penelope, and Ankh of Triarch. And down here we have noble embellishments. The bodies of Necrons are expertly crafted and adorned. It says Necrons are made from living metal that shifts and flows to heal battle damage. All Necrons bear on their bodies the Ankh of the Triarch, an ancient symbol of the Necron race. Necrons also adorn their armor with colors and heraldry of their dynasty. Royal Wardens bear the colors of the Sazarkan dynasty. Okay, I have no chance of pronouncing that one. Relic Gauss Blaster. Many Necrons wield Gauss weapons, which reduce foes to atoms. The Royal Warden's Relic Gauss Blaster is one of the most refined, expertly crafted, and utterly lethal of these weapons. And much like the Primaris Lieutenant, we have a battle record for him. You can also name them here. And then here we have Dynasty Epitaphs. When a Necron noble earns a victory, they often add a title to their name. Okay. Ancient degradations. The minds of Necron nobles are sometimes prone to strange personality quirks. And then we have examples here. Collect trophies from foes. Cackles manically in battle. Will not speak to lesser beings. Okay, and for their war gear, same thing. They name their weapons. Down here they have nefarious plans. Necron nobles are motivated by impressing their superiors or annihilating their foes. And same with the record of battle. Okay, so... Well, that's a shame. These magazines are not held together too well. So I'm wondering if these are actually... Yeah, it looks like these are actually the first 2-3 pages. Well, that kind of sucks. Okay, so start with the Space Marines. The Adeptus Astartes, known by most as the Space Marines, are one of mankind's most powerful fighting forces. They have defended the Imperium with courage and honor for thousands of years, inflicting terrible defeats upon humanity's many foes. The Space Marines are a great symbol of imperial strength and military power, armed with some of the deadliest weapons and equipment available to the armies of the Imperium. They strike against mankind's foes with speed, skill, and overwhelming force. Though their numbers are few, each Space Marine is a living weapon. The bodies of these supremely skilled warriors are enhanced by genetic modifications, and their minds are armored against fear, doubt, and despair. The Space Marines act both as an attacking and defensive force. They strike from heavens to shatter the armies and fortresses of their enemies just as often as they defend the worlds of the Imperium with matchless determination. Despite the Space Marines' centuries of loyal service under many victories they have won, the Emperor's realm is under siege as never before. Skills of the Adeptus Astartes hold firm, unbreakable faith in their hearts and battle cries upon their lips. They are the champions of humanity, and they know no fear. Defeat is only for the enemy. And while one Space Marine stands still, a flicker of hope still remains in the Imperium of mankind. Rather, while one Space Marine still stands, not stands still. Okay, it says, "We are the angels of death. We offer no mercy. Brother Adronis, 8th Squad, Ultramarines, 3rd Company." When Space Marines go on the offensive, assault intercessors are often first into battle. And the Primaris Marines are also kind of like the elite of the Space Marines. Kind of like the special forces of our current militaries. I wouldn't exactly say Delta Force, because that I think would be more the Death Watch, which wear all black and silver armor, and they have some of the best Marines from every chapter. So again, much like the Delta Force works. Okay, here we have Masters of Mankind. The Emperor. The Emperor is the founder and figurehead of the Imperium. He created the Space Marines for the purpose of conquering the galaxy and defending humanity's territories. He is now little more than a decaying corpse. What little remains of his mind and body. Okay, so I don't know what happened there. My camera just went out. Okay, now here we have Reboot Guilliman. Reboot Guilliman is one of the Emperor's Primarchs, superhumans created by the Emperor to lead his armies. Humans are made into Space Marines by using genetic material of a Primarch. Guilliman is the Primarch of the Ultramarines. As the last Primarch known in the Imperium, he is its Lord Commander. Basically, the Emperor made almost clones of himself, and they were super powerful beings known as the Primarchs, and each Primarch started his own chapter of Space Marines. And there are tons of chapters. Actually, 1,000 chapters. Space Marines are organized into forces known as chapters. Some of these chapters are permanently based on fleets of warships, whilst others have their own homeworlds and planetary fiefdoms. Each Space Marine chapter possesses its own fleet, armored vehicles, and forges for armor and weapons. In addition, they have their own heraldry, history, and methods of making war. There are believed to be 1,000 Space Marine chapters, each made up of approximately 1,000 Space Marines. If this were proven to be true, it would mean only one Space Marine exists for every populated planet in the Imperium. It says each of the many Space Marine chapters can be identified by their defining heraldry and the colors they bear upon their armor. Here we have Ultramarines are probably the most common. Anytime you see something about Space Marines, chances are it's going to be an Ultramarine. Got the Hammers of Dorn, Blood Angels, White Panthers, Silver Templars, and Dark Souls. Again, that is just a handful of the chapters. Okay, now on to the Necrons. It says, for 60 million years, the Necrons have slumbered. As they have lain dormant, the stars have moved through the heavens, and countless empires have arisen and fallen to ruin. Now the Necron race stirs from its long sleep, intent on reclaiming the galaxy and eradicating all who stand before them. Necrons are a race of android killing machines who long ago traded their bodies of flesh and blood for deathless forms made from living metal. For millions of years, they have lain in stasis in the vast tomb complexes beneath the surface of the worlds they once called their home. Though many Necrons still slumber, others have been awoken, roused by the mechanical failure of their stasis crypts, natural disasters, or the presence of trespassers within their sanctums. Over time, the galaxy's natural cycle of expansion has caused the stars to drift, carrying the surviving Necron tomb complexes far from their original position and leaving the Necron race scattered across the galaxy. The Artisan Necrons see the various races that now inhabit the galaxy as little more than vermin, interlopers and savages that must be destroyed in order for their own mighty empires to be restored. Across the Imperium, dark rumors spread of Necron tomb complexes rising from beneath the surface of settled worlds, of vast invasion fleets that block out the stars, and of relentless armies of soulless skeletal warriors crushing all beneath their metallic feet. Necron warriors are the bulk of the Necron army. These soulless killing machines are enslaved to the will of the noble Necron lords. Okay, and that page is coming out too. Damn it. I wish the binding on these was a little better, but these will end up going in a binder, so it's probably should just take all the pages out individually so you can flip through them. Otherwise, you would have to take them out of the binder if you wanted to look through them. And yeah, I'll probably just rip them all out. Anyways, the Necrontyr. The Necrons were not always soulless androids. Once they were I'm going to say Necrontyr, a race obsessed with death, having started a war they could not win. They bargained with the ancient star gods and their galactic, and were granted, robotic immortality in exchange for their souls. The Necrons are divided into factions known as dynasties. Each dynasty is ruled over by Necron lords and their noble underlings. Though all are subservient to the Silent King. Some of the Necron dynasties see themselves as superior to their rivals. The conflict between them is not unheard of. The galaxy shall be ours. Vermin, submit or die. Necron Envoy, Nephilim Sector 439E/0078/RX22900. Okay. Seems more like coordinates for something than a name, but... Nephilim Sector. So yeah, I guess it would be the... Anyways. The Silent Kings. The Silent Kings were rulers of the Necrontyr after their transformation into metallic immortals. The last of the Silent King, Scarzeth, ordered the Necrons to retreat to their stasis crypts, where they would slumber until the time was right to rise up and conquer the galaxy. These names. Meanwhile, took the starship into the intergalactic void and was not heard of for millions of years. Now he has returned and intended to reunite the race, seeking out each and every Necron dynasty that remains and bringing them under his control. Under the watchful eye of the Silent King, the Necrons gather their strength, preparing themselves for the wars of conquest to come. Okay, and I believe... Yeah, okay, that is it for the lore. We'll get back to the build guide there in a minute. Okay, also we have this basically an ad for the subscription service, but also pretty handy. It does fold out into a nice large poster there. So that is pretty neat. I may end up hanging that up. Alright, so let's go over what we got here. We got two bases. The larger one is for the Primaris Lieutenant, and the smaller one is for the Royal Warden. We have 6 D6s to start playing the game. Range ruler, so you can determine the movement and firing distance of your units. And we have the important part here, the actual miniatures. Now, I'm including links in the description for this subscription. It's important that you select the right one, either UK or US, because apparently they're free gifts are on a little bit of a different schedule. When I first signed up for this, I was looking at the UK site, which has the modeling kit, which is the clippers, the glue, and the file in the first delivery. The US kit, the free issue was the free gift for that first delivery. So the modeling kit won't come till the second delivery. So I'm going to try and do this all with only what is provided through the course of the subscription. For the clippers and file, I'm going to have to make a slight exception. I do have clippers and files, so I will use what I have to assemble these 3 kits, and then starting with issue 4, I'll have the modeling kit from the subscription. Okay, so that is all the contents that have came with this, and we'll start on the assembly now. It says how to build. Easy to build Primaris Lieutenant and Royal Warden. Before you can paint or play games with your new models, you'll need to assemble them. Carefully follow this guide as you do. Okay, let's see here. The model's components are attached to a plastic frame known as a sprue. Clip the components free from the sprue. Components. When they have been clipped from the sprue, you may lay out the components and make sure you have everything you need to build the model. Lining up. These models are designed to be easily assembled. Line up the connecting pegs with the holes and apply gentle, steady pressure. Okay, now I am going to pause for a moment here while I go get my clippers and file. Okay, and I am back. Okay, how to build Primaris Lieutenant. First, slot the head into position on component 3 and carefully push components 2 and 3 together. Okay, so we are looking for 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So, with the clippers, you want to obviously put the flat end towards the model here. Get it as close as you can to the model and cut it. Okay. All right. That doesn't go in the base, does it? No. That's a very odd holding there. There we go. And sometimes you can just twist them. You don't necessarily have to cut them. Okay, now the head, I'm pretty sure it's not a big deal, but I don't like the way these are molded. I mean, where they actually connect to the sprue. Let's see here. Okay, that's good. Yeah, see, it's leaves a lot on there. I don't like that. See, in this foot in particular, you want to be completely flat because that's going to sit on the base. So I guess I'll just pick at it and hope I don't screw up the side of his shoe or his boot there. Because I definitely want this to lay completely flat on the base. So I can't have any kind of lump there. Let's see, where is... How exactly is he supposed to? Okay, so it does go in this one. Okay, so he's gonna go something like that. Let's see how close it... Well, that ain't too bad. Still a little gap there. So I want to get rid of that gap. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'd say that's close enough. Okay, now let's get his back here. Yeah, some of them it's really hard to tell where the sprue ends and the model begins. Oh man, that's another one that's right on the body there. It's right on his tilt shield there. But I think that's okay because the sword is going to go in there. So any little imperfection there is going to be covered up by that. So I ain't too worried about that. Okay, however, this little nub on his bolter holster is a different story. That I want to be completely smooth. It's almost. Okay, so that looks pretty good there. So we want 1 and 2, 3. Looks like his head's got some posability. Now, I will say that when I do models, I tend to do them in pieces. So I can get into more... Oh, why isn't this guy coming together here? Is the head supposed to be a certain orientation? It just doesn't seem to fit very well. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it looks like his head has to be looking to his right. Otherwise, it won't stick together. Okay, let's see here. Getting shavings all over. Okay, so the sword must be pushed into place before the arm shield. Okay, so we need 5, 6, and 8. So that is the sword. The bolter arm. Oh, where is 6? Oh, that is... Oh, it's jetpack. Okay. Alright, here's a jetpack. And his sword. Come on. And this arm here. Okay. This is the part of the process I least enjoy. But it is nonetheless an important one. Because you don't want to have random mold lines coming out of your model. Actually, another thing you can do here is take an X-Acto knife and just like shave it off. I may end up doing that before painting it. We'll see. Ooh. Okay, that handle on the sword is pretty delicate. So I don't want to mess with that too much. And I'm dropping stuff all over. Okay. I don't know how I feel about just the sheathed sword. Kind of be cool if he was, you know, had it drawn. But then again, you see drawn swords more often than not, so Guess just something different. So what I'm doing for these mold lines on the edge of the jetpack, I'm just kind of rolling it over the file. Trying not to hit the spikes on that halo, which I think I just did. Okay, that's pretty good. Damn it, I hit that one too. Yeah, not a fan of these, the way these sprues are done. I don't like that thick. Speaking of delicate, that halo is awfully delicate. I think I have some pliers around here. Let's see if I can straighten that guy back out. Yeah, I'm not even into the painting and I'm having issues. Yeah, like I said, I'll just, when I go back to paint, before that, I'll go over it again with the file. Oh, I need the storm shield too. Okay, and the corresponding arm. And of course, the always fun filing. Okay, that's a purity seal there coming off his shoulder pad. Okay. Storm shields are actually those are kind of fun to paint. I got a Death Watch squad, and that I'm still working on. But again, that's what I say is I start a lot of things and they get sidelined. But yeah, that storm shield in particular was pretty fun to do, because it wasn't like, this is more of a basic design here, but the one for the Death Watch, it had like this whole inside area was all it had letters engraved into it, and it just was a nice texture when you get it painted and put the wash on top of it. It came out really nice. But I'd like to finish doing that squad. If I remember correctly, I don't think I've actually painted any of the actual units. I just did some practicing on the extra bits, because that was a previous generation of Warhammer where they would give you multiple limbs and heads and weapons and such, and you got to more customize your units, which I was a fan of, but I see with the way they do it now, pardon me, it allows for a little more dynamic poses. So I guess that's the trade-off you get. Okay, and there's his storm shield. Okay, now we will put the gun arm. How does this go? There we go. There's gun arm there. And his jetpack. Come on. Where's the hole? Oh, it's up higher. Okay, why am I having difficulty? Okay, there's the hole. There we go. Okay. Alright, and you gotta put the sword on first. Yeah, like it doesn't give you many options at all. Just like the head. If the head isn't at that specific angle, it won't completely hold together. And the same with the sword. You got no movement on that there. Okay. So we're on step 2 now, where it says push components 9 and 10 into place, and then push the model onto the base. So part of doing these is once you get it in there, you have to kind of rotate them until you find the right alignment. I think that's it right there. Okay. And now he's going to go into the base, but before that there is... What is... Okay, I have a... Oh, there it is. So, I just read the step, but didn't do it. So, part 9 is the tilt shield. And 10 is a severed Necron head. Okay, and file those again. This one's going in the base, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And I don't know, because if he's gonna stand like that, I'm wondering if, to see the way he's standing, the hole for the severed head, I don't know if you can see that, but it's right here. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe the head should be facing the back, because to really see the face, you'd have to be looking at it like that specific angle. But looking at the instructions, it does kind of look like it is going out the back, so that's what I'm going to do. If I can get this guy out, there we go. Okay, so we'll put the head just like, yeah, that looks good. Okay, done. I'll file his tilt shield a little bit. Okay, and that is going to go right here on his chest, or down on the ground apparently. There we go. Okay, then we'll put him on the base here. Okay, and the Primaris Lieutenant is finished. Well, assembled. Still gonna need to be painted. Okay. Okay, joins. Let's see, some components have a lot of connections to the frame. You will have to clip away all of these plastic tabs in order to remove their components. Clipping. Clip out the more fragile sections of the component first so that they do not snap when clipping out the rest of the component. Lining up. Take time to line up the pegs before pushing the components into position. This will make it easier to push them together with less force. Okay, how to build Royal Warden. When pushing components together, only apply pressure to the surface directly behind the peg, where the plastic is strongest. Do not apply pressure to the thinner, fragile areas of the plastic that are likely to bend. Okay, and we are starting with pieces 1 and 2. So, this is 2, this is 1. Okay, let's start with 1, which is clearly the easier of the 2. Sometimes you might have to go with the sprue from the opposite direction, get a better angle to cut. Here's those delicate parts I was talking about. Okay. smooth those mold lines there. Wow, this whole body seems pretty flimsy. It's like I don't even want to press too hard filing this. It's still a little rough there. Okay, it's not too bad. Again, these will be touched up before I paint them, so. This file I have isn't really doing the best. So I'm hoping the Citadel one does a better job. We'll see. So one of the criticism that I hear is that a couple months into this, you'll be sick of assembling Necrons, and I believe it. I believe it. Okay, that looks pretty good there. And then this is just going to go right into the back of that piece, and there's nothing to hold it together. Okay, well, we'll just let it sit there for a minute. Says the arm should slot into position with minimal pressure. The spine will need to be gently pushed into place. And we're looking for 3 and 4. So 3 and 4. All right. Okay, I think that one came out pretty good. Minimal cleanup on this one. I was able to get those clippers in pretty close to it. Okay. Oh, I didn't finish cutting out the other piece. Jeez. Okay. And we got one more connection point there. Actually, so far Necrons are not so bad. Then again, I haven't gotten to paint them. But as far as the cleanup, a lot easier than the Space Marines. Okay, now the arm is here. So it goes on. Oh, that's. I missed that. Of course, I was thinking, because it's a peg, you gotta worry about getting it too clean. But it slots in the body here, so. There we go. Okay, the arm is in and the spine. Oops. Does the spine go through the back? That chine would make sense. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, so the spine connects into that back piece, but not into the... as far in as it goes. Well, it looks like it goes in more. Okay, that one is a pain. Ugh. Alright, I take back what I said about not being so bad. There we go. I'll say the cleanup isn't so bad on them. Oi. Okay, line up the arm and gun and gently press into position. Okay. Again, just trying to get all this as smooth as possible. Yeah, it's one of the annoying things is filing curved surfaces. Which is why the Space Marines are such a pain in the ass. That's good. Again, we can just take that whole back piece off. Okay, so... okay, so it's a peg coming off of his hand that is actually the handle of the Gauss blaster. So I'll peg that in, get his arm in there. There we go. And the arm doesn't want to go into the hole. Oh. Okay. Step 4, the face must be pushed into the place before the chest piece. There's face. There's chest. Okay, now, how does the face go? Ah, I see. Okay. So now, I really think the chest should have been done before putting the arms on. Oh, well, I guess you couldn't, because the arms kind of get sandwiched in between the back and chest, so. Okay, and it goes like, I don't know why it says that the face has to be put in place first, because the chest has these two hoses, pistons, whatever, coming up that basically go behind the face. So, you know what? Oh, God. Okay, I just lost his face. Okay, and I found it. Alright, so I'm going to try doing the opposite of what the instructions say. I'm going to try to put on his chest before the face. Oh my God, if I can stop dropping it. Okay. There we go. It doesn't seem like it's matching up right. Okay, now, oh my God, where did I put that face? There it is. There we go. That is much better. Looks like a Terminator. Alright, Your fully assembled model should look like the image shown below, and it sure does. So we're gonna, I'm gonna put them a little forward on that base. You know what? No. I'm gonna rotate them back a little bit. There we go. Alright, just like that. Okay, the Royal Warden goes on the 32mm base, the smaller of the two bases. To secure the model, push the peg under the foot of the model into the slot of the base. Finished models. Bam. Check both of your fully assembled models and make sure the components are pushed together correctly. You will be applying paint to these models in a later issue. For now, set them aside and get ready to play a game with them. Okay. So we are going into the gameplay. Here we have I guess an ad for painting. Painting miniatures, an enjoyable creative part of Warhammer 40k hobby. Beginner to expert. Imperium paint guides that allow simple and easy to follow. As your collection grows, so too will your ability to produce an army of fully painted models. With each issue, you learn a variety of skills and techniques. Issue by issue, you'll use those to steadily paint entire armies of fantastic looking miniatures. Alright, Citadel color system. Base paints. Base paints are thicker, pigment heavy. You supply, well, pretty self-explanatory. But you have your base paint, which is your base colors. Shades are other brands of paint call them washes. They're just thinner paint that will pool into the recesses of a model and just give you that distinction, like here, the holes in the chainmail. So it's like almost black in there. Because I used a black wash and it pulled in there, and then I went over it again with the silver. Or something like the separation in the armor plates of this Marine here. Layer paints are just layering up highlights, and technical paints are kind of like make like terrain surface. Okay, it says a game like on any other. Warhammer 40k is a tabletop war game that allows you to take command of an army of Citadel miniatures and do battle against your friends. Even the smallest game of Warhammer 40k is full of excitement and explosive action as rival commanders pit their wits against each other. As soon as you've built your new models, you'll want to send them into battle. The games of Warhammer 40k, players act as general and warlords, commanding armies of Citadel miniatures as they battle each other on the tabletop. Players take it in turns to move, cast psychic powers, shoot guns at their opponent, or engage in brutal hand-to-hand combat. Warhammer 40k uses a set of rules that are easy to learn and interesting to master. Okay, games can be any size you like, from small skirmishes involving a few models to huge battles involving dozens of units. Many games involve a story which explains why your armies are fighting each other. and what they need to do in order to achieve victory. Over the course of your Imperium collection, you will be provided with exciting story-based missions and tutorials that will teach you the rules you need to know in order to play thrilling games on your own tabletop. What is a turn-based dice game? Warhammer 40k. Players take turns to move, shoot, and fight their armies, rolling dice to determine the results of many of their actions. This is bringing the battlefield to life. Games Workshop 40k are even more exciting when they involve fully painted models and terrain. With each new issue of Imperium, you'll build your own collection, skills, and knowledge of the game until you are able to play games just like this. And, yeah, I never really got into playing the game, other than that Space Marine adventure game, which I don't even know if it's the same rules, but from what I understand, it seems like it is. But anyways, here, issue 1 of Warhammer 40k Imperium provides you with everything you need to play your first game. Make sure you have all the items shown in the page before you begin your first of many exciting playthrough missions with the Imperium collection. 1. Models. You will need your 2 new models, the Royal Warden and the Primaris Lieutenant. Magazine. Make sure you have a copy of issue 1 playthrough in front of you. Battle mat, which we do have right here. Your battle mat will represent the battlefield your models are fighting over. Range ruler. Your range ruler will be used to measure distance when moving your models. And then we have dice. You will roll dice to decide the result of some of your actions in the game. For example, trying to shoot an enemy. Wound markers, which are these. You can use these to track the damage that your models have lost during battle. Objective markers. You will use these objective markers to represent mission critical locations on the battlefield. The battle mat included with issue 1 of Imperium has several wound and objective markers printed on it. Cut these out before beginning the playthrough. Okay, I will do that now. And I will be right back. Okay, I have all the tokens cut out there. So we are ready to move on. It says first contact. The Rasmus system is at war. On the surface, the industrial moon of Magaria, the small force of Ultramarines have arrived to battle the invading army of soulless robotic Necrons. Warzone Rasmus. And, you know, I'm well aware I'm not pronouncing these names properly, so yeah, there's that. The Necron invaders have already begun to transform Magaria into an alien fortress across the surface of the moon. The Space Marines battle Necron phalanxes in the shadow of towering Necron obelisks and ruined Imperial factorums. Imperial forces have identified a repair station beneath the surface of Magaria as a key target. If the Ultramarines can prevent the Necrons from repairing their android legions, perhaps the Imperium may yet counter the Necron threat and the realm of the Rasmus system for the Emperor, and reclaim the system for the Emperor. The Ultramarines are the spearhead of a larger force, and more Necrons enter Rasmus system with every passing day. Okay, Royal Warden, our mission briefing first. In the Necron repair station's obsidian depths, row upon row of silent Necrons wait to be revived and sent back into the fight. A small force of Space Marines have fought their way into the facility, intent on destroying it. Royal Warden, restore dominance. Beneath the surface of Megara, in the heart of the Necron repair complex, a single Royal Warden has awoken in the darkness. The Space Marines' assault on the planet's surface have damaged the facility system and destroyed many of the Canoptic Guardians. To make matters worse, a force of Space Marines has broken through the Necron facility's outer defenses. Through the repair complexes, though the repair complex's automated defenses will surely take care of most of the trespassers, the Warden must reach and activate the facility repair nodes. Doing this will revive its damaged kin so that they may rise up and drive back the remaining Space Marines. Primaris Lieutenant, halt the awakening. Having landed on Megara, the Ultramarines spread out, scouting the ruins and seeking Necron strongholds. Strange readings from beneath the planet's surface revealed that the presence of an alien technology to them. A small force of Space Marines have made their way through a crack in the moon's crust and into the Necron repair complex. As they explore the ruins, the tomb-like structures' Canoptic defenses slew many of their numbers, and the rest became separated by the alien labyrinth. A single Primaris Lieutenant finds himself near the repair complex's core. With his brothers unaccounted for, it falls to him to stop the Necron's awakening. Okay, rules and setup. Okay, I'm going to get this out of frame here. It says, unfold your battle mat and carefully cut out the objective and wound markers. I already did that. Those will be up here. And then, okay, let me see if I can get better frame. Okay, it cut out again. I don't know what is going on there. Ballistic skill. The number represents the dice required to hit an enemy model while shooting at it. So, Primaris Lieutenant hits on 2 or higher. Royal Warden 3 or higher. Wounds. Model loses this many wounds and is destroyed and removed from play. Primaris has 5. Necron has 4. Save the number of dice. This number represents the dice result required in order to avoid losing a wound after being hit. They both have a save of 3 or better. Weapon. This is the number of dice needed when making attacks with this weapon. They are both 2 dice. Okay, to move your model, put the ruler next to the model, measure the distance using the front of the base. The model cannot move through other models or off the edge of the mat. Okay. How to track wounds. Place a wound marker next to the model. It stays with that model until the model is destroyed. Okay, pretty easy. Alright, turn 1. When Royal Necron marches towards the objective, it shoots Primaris Lieutenant with its Relic Gauss Blaster. Will the Space Marine be hit by the devastating weapon? Okay, step-by-step instructions below guide you through the Necron player's first turn. Follow the playthrough and play out the turn. If you need help, refer to the example at the bottom of the page. Okay, move. The Royal Warden wants to activate the repair nodes, but it has to get to the activation point first. Use the ruler to move the model 5 inches closer to the objective. Objective 1 is the closest to the Warden's starting point. Okay, so let's just take the ruler here, and he moves 5, so that would put him here. You'll be just out of reach, so you can't activate it this turn. Remember, this model has to stay on the mat. Okay, how to activate repair nodes. Move the Royal Warden so that its base touches or overlaps the marker. This will give the Royal Warden a chance to activate it after both players have had their turn. Okay, shoot. With the objective just out of reach, all that's left is to shoot at the Primaris Lieutenant. Check the weapons section of the Royal Warden's datasheet. The powerful Relic Gauss Blaster makes 2 dice attacks, so roll 2 dice next to the mat. Okay, and I'm going to roll them on the mat here so you can see. Okay, he has a 4 and a 1. Compare the dice results with the ballistic skill on the datasheet. The Royal Garden is a good shot with a 3 or plus, so any dice with a result of 3 or higher scores 1 hit. Any dice result below 3 is put aside. It has failed to hit the Primaris Lieutenant. Keep any dice that scored a hit. You'll find out if the Primaris Lieutenant has been hurt. So there is his 1 hit. Okay, so that is turn 1. Well, part of turn 1. Although it is still the Necron's turn, the Space Marine player must roll a save for each of the Royal Warden's successful hits. Follow the playthrough below to play along. Refer to the example at the bottom if you need help. Saves. If the Primaris Lieutenant has been hit, his mighty armor may save him. For each hit scored, the Space Marine rolls 1 die next to the map. Compare the dice result to the save of the Primaris Lieutenant's data sheet. His armor is tough, so a result of 3 plus is a successful save. He did not save. He got hit. Failed saves, result of 2 or 1, mean that the Primaris Lieutenant has lost a wound to the Royal Warden's attack, so he gets a wound marker. Allocate wounds. If the Primaris Lieutenant has lost any wounds, you need to keep track of them for the rest of the game. Don't worry. The Primaris Lieutenant has enough wounds to survive many attacks. Find the Primaris Lieutenant's wounds on the data sheet. He will only be destroyed once he has lost all 5 wounds. Place the wound marker next to the model for each wound lost. Next, the Primaris Lieutenant gets to fight back. Okay, end of turn. When the Space Marine player has made all their saves and allocated wounds, the Necron's turn ends. Okay, now we have Space Marine turn 1. Shrugging off the Royal Warden's fire, the Primaris Lieutenant raises his pistol and prepares to close in and return fire. The Royal Warden must be destroyed. Now it's the Space Marine player's turn. As they have no objective to secure, they must focus their attention on destroying the Royal Warden. Follow the playthrough to use examples on the bottom of the page if you need help. Move. The Primaris Lieutenant wants to get close to the Royal Warden to attack. Use the ruler to move the model 6 inches closer to the Royal Warden. Remember, the model has to stay on the mat. Okay, so let's line it up with the base here. And he has a 6-inch move. So 6 is right there. Okay, move his moon marker as well. Shoot. The Primaris Lieutenant must shoot the Royal Warden before it can activate the repair nodes. Check the weapon section of the Primaris Lieutenant datasheet. He has a powerful Neo-Volkite pistol that makes 2 attacks. So roll 2 dice next to the mat. Alright, looking good. Compare the dice results to the ballistic skill on the datasheet. The Primaris Lieutenant is an excellent shot with a BS 2+. So the dice result of 2 or higher scores 1 hit. Any dice result of 1 put aside. Shot has failed to hit the Royal Warden. Keep the dice that scored the hit. You'll find out if the Royal Warden has been hit. Okay. Turn 1, part 2, or continued. The Primaris Lieutenant has fired 2 shots at the Royal Warden with his Neo-Volkite pistol. Can the Royal Warden's living metal skin shrug off the hits to keep it alive? Now, the Necron player must roll saves for any hits scored by the Primaris Lieutenant's Neo-Volkite pistol. Follow the playthrough and roll your saves. Use the example at the bottom of the page if you need any help. Saves. If the Royal Warden has been hit, his metal living body may save him. For each hit scored, the Necron player rolls a die next to the mat. Okay, and I think he might have saved. Compare the dice result on the save on the Royal Warden's datasheet. The living metal body is resilient, so a result of 3+ is a successful save. Failed saves, result 1 or 2 or 1, mean the Royal Warden has lost wounds to the Primaris Lieutenant's attack. Allocate wounds, doesn't apply. Okay, reactivate and repair nodes. The Royal Warden wants to reactivate the repair nodes to get reinforcements. If the Royal Warden ends the turn with its base touching an objective marker, he can try to activate the repair node, which is what he's gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna put him like that. Just so, in case he fails, he is closer to objective 2 and should be able to... Yeah, he should be able to move to their next turn. Alright, if the Royal Warden turn ends with its base touching an objective marker, can try to activate the repair nodes. Roll 1 dice. That should be 1 die. Okay, 4, not bad. 5+. On a 5+, Royal Warden successfully activates the repair node and the Necron player wins the game. On a 1, 2, 3, or 4, the station is broken. The Royal Warden will have to try again at another one. Remove this objective marker from the battle map. Ooh. Okay. So now it is back to the Space Marine's turn. You know what? I'm not even going to bother moving. Okay, we got 2 hits on the Necron. And the Necron saves 1. So he does take 1 wound. Okay, Necron's turn. And we'll just measure it out here. Yep. It's got plenty of room to make it to objective 2. And he's going to fire back. with 1 hit, which the lieutenant is going to save. And now he's going to try and activate the repair node. And he does not. Okay, and the lieutenant is going to continue to fire at the Necron. Whoops. And I believe he hits on a 2. Where are you? Yes, 2 or better. Okay, so he's got 2 hits. Necron saves 1. So we'll replace that 1 with a 2. Okay, Necron's turn again. Gonna move to here and return fire. One hit, 1 save. Okay, Primaris Lieutenant's turn. He's going in for the kill. Can the Necron avoid death this time? Yes, he can. His save is at 3 or 4. Okay, his save is 3. Okay, so he takes no damage. And again, I don't even need to measure. Alright. And he activates the repair node. Okay, so the Necrons have successfully called in reinforcement. Those were the conditions of the game, but I'm going to continue and have these guys fight to the death. Okay, this is actually, that's still the Necron's turn. I don't think I attacked with him, which doesn't matter because he missed both shots. And the Primaris Lieutenant hits twice, and the Necron saves. So they are just avoiding each other's fire right now. Necron's going to shoot back. And 2 hits, 1 save. Okay, so they are both at 2 wounds. Primaris Lieutenant's turn. 2 hits, 2 saves. Necron is back up. 2 hits, 1 save. So they are both down to two wounds to go. And this is the Lieutenant's. 2 hits, 1 save. Come on. Okay, Necron didn't like that. He's shooting back with 2 hits and 2 saves. Now is Primaris Lieutenant's opportunity to finish off the Necron. Gets 2 hits, 2 saves. Necron shooting back, 2 hits. Ooh, not good. That takes our Primaris Lieutenant to 5 wounds, and he is defeated. So not only did the Necron manage to call in reinforcements, he also dealt with the Space Marine that had infiltrated his lair. Okay, and last thing we have here is more lore on this overall battle. Okay, these are all the various types of units here. This guy way up here is the synaptic constructors. Synaptics are robotic constructors that are enslaved to their Necron masters. They are designed to maintain, repair, and protect their Necron masters and their structures. These guys here are the Necrons. Necron lords and lesser nobles command the Necron armies. Necron warriors who serve them are almost mindless and require constant instruction in order to fight effectively. Here we have the destroyer cults. Necron destroyers are utterly insane and filled with hatred for organic life. They have their bodies altered to whatever form they believe will make it easier to kill living beings. So they got issues. And over here on the Space Marine side, we have commanders and veterans. Space Marines heroes lead from the front by example, bellowing commands and litanies of encouragement in order to inspire their warriors to ever greater acts of heroism. And you got a fire support team up here. Fire support team units such as eradicators are tasked with picking off enemies at range and laying down volleys of punishing fire to destroy the enemies where they stand. Over here you have your close support units. Close support units such as assault intercessors and outriders are mobile warriors who can move fast and secure ground quickly, striking the enemy before they have a chance to react. So, let's start with the Battle of Magaria, whatever. The first two conflict between the Necrons of the Skarzan dynasty and the Ultramarines Task Force 15 came in the ruined refiners and factorums of Magaria. Jesus. Damn phone. The Ultramarines crashed into the Skarzan planet with punishing force. Bodyguard veterans carving a wedge through the Necron horde. The Necrons would not be deterred so easily, however. Living metal knitted together and reanimation protocol caused the fallen to rise once more. Synaptic scarabs swarmed over the Space Marines, dragging battle brothers into the dirt. After several bloody fightings, several hours of bloody fighting, the Skarzan forces retreated into the city, disappearing amidst the ruined factorum, leaving the Space Marines to count their dead. The war for the Rasmus system has truly begun. Okay, now we have the Skarzan phalanx. The Skarzan forces on Magaria swiftly moved to counter the Space Marine threat. A phalanx of Necron warriors marched into position in front of their in front of their noble commanders, Gauss weapons raised and ready to fire. At their flank strode towering Scarapith destroyers. God, I hate these names. Their glowing blades raised and ready for the kill. Meanwhile, scurrying between the legs of their masters, mindless swarms of synaptic scarabs skittered forward, searching for organic material to consume. Over here we have Task Force 15 Spearhead. The Ultramarine Spearhead of Task Force 15 was designed for rapid assault. First to strike were Space Marine Outriders and their bikes surging ahead and crash through the Necron phalanx. With Eradicator Heavy Weapon Squad providing covering fire, Assault Intercessors and Blade Guard veterans hurled themselves into the breach, the orders of encouragement of their commanders ringing in their ears. Okay, and on the back here, we have more information on each of them. We start with the Imperial Task Force. The Ultramarines. Well, first we have over here, eager to take the fight to the Necron foe. The Ultramarines gather aboard their starships, ready to be destroyed, or deployed to the Rasmussen system. Imperial Task Force. Ultramarines are one of the most famous Space Marine chapters. They have served the Emperor for 10,000 years. The Ultramarines attached to Task Force 15 have been chosen to act as a spearhead for the Imperial force, entering the system ahead of their allies and establishing a beachhead in the system. The war for Pariah Nexus rages across a dozen systems, despite the presence of several Imperial Crusade fleets, including the colossal battle groups of Clades. Progress against Necrons has proven slow. From the Clades vessel, the Imperial Task Force has been dispatched to those systems that contain the most precious resources, for these worlds are of most value to the Emperor. Task Force 15, a combined force made up of the elements of various branches of the Imperial Army, has been sent to reclaim the Rasmussen system. The Rasmussen's resources of Promethium will be the key if the Imperium is to be victorious in the war for Pariah Nexus. And here we have the Necron's invasion of Rasmussen. Throughout the Pariah Nexus, the metallic Necron Legion of the Silent King has engaged in various war against the Imperium. In the Rasmussen system, the Skazaran Dynasty legions have begun a campaign of conquest, seeking to exterminate the remaining population and secure the system's worlds. Victory had seemed certain when a force of Space Marines arrived in the system, halting the Necrons' advance. The Necrons remain confident, however, for they outnumber their foes. The time of the Necrons has come, and the Rasmussen system will fall. The Skazaran. The Skazaran are the dynasty of the Skarzeth, the Silent King across Pariah Nexus worlds. They and their allies have erected pylons made from obsidian stone. These pylons project an eldritch force that not only impedes space travel and navigation, but drains all hope from living beings but drains all hope and energy from living beings, eventually killing them. Okay, the War for Rasmusus. The Rasmusus system lies in the Pariah Nexus. A region of space has been transformed into a war zone. Here the forces of the Imperium clash with the relentless legions of the ancient Necrons in an apocalyptic conflict. Okay, Rasmusus is considered valuable by the Imperium due to the abundant resources and its promethium fuel refineries. When the First Imperial Crusade fleets pushed into the Pariah Nexus, the Rasmusus system was defined as a key target. An Imperial task force, spearheaded by the Ultramarines, was dispatched to reclaim Rasmusus for the Emperor. Upon arriving, the Ultramarines soon found they were not alone. The Necrons have already begun their invasion. The war for Rasmusus now rages across every world in the system. Alert 20177. Necron magics in the Pariah Nexus, known to cause lethargy and despair in the living, leading to death. This effect is known as distilling. Caution advised. Query correlation 4.5.4. Let's see here. We have recon report file. Alicia Rasmusus. Hive Moon. Aledia is the home of billions of citizens, most of whom work in the hazardous fuel processing plant. And here we have recon report file. Megaria Rasmusus. Megaria is an industrial center. Its surface is covered with gas refineries, space docks, and choking pollutants. And Rasmusus recon report Siphos is more than an orbital fortress, blistering with weapons platforms and ferocious bastions. Okay, so that was everything in issue 1 of Warhammer 40k Imperium. As I said, that is just issue 1. So if you did enjoy this, I will be back next week, the same day, with issue 2, and every week after that. There are a total of 80 issues in this. So once I get, all 80, then I'll figure out where I'm going next from there. Also, as I said, I am providing the links to the subscription service in the description. So if you want to, start your own subscription, follow along, or whatever, just make sure you get the right version, either the US or the UK. And other than that, I will see you next week with another episode for issue number 2. See you then.